Hey, Albie, what did they do tonight that made it a little bit hard for you guys to get going on your end?
Um, they play good offense. They did good defense. They play with energy. They play harder than us today. We didn't bring the juice, and they play better.
How disappointing is it to have a second straight game like this where you guys clearly didn't play your best ball?
Definitely is disappointing for us. We gotta play better. We know we better. We shown whole year, and we just had two struggling game, and I think we'll be okay next game. Everybody knows what it is, and we just gotta wake up and come back and play harder. And if we will lose, I think we just gotta put the energy, playing hard over there, so people can see. And that's starting with me. I gotta do a better job. We have 3 games left, and it just like I said, it started with me. I just gotta give my everything and help the team out.
This isn't about tonight, but there's a pretty good chance Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's going to miss the All-Star game. If invited, would you like to attend and play in the All-Star game?
Yeah, of course. You cannot decline any invite like that, but we'll see we'll see what it is, and we go from there.
Albie, it looks like a lot of teams are trying to put you in a pick and roll situation where you might have to get switched out on a guard. What can you all do in order to be able to be more effective when they do that?
I know I can guard. I know I can guard, and sometimes sometimes I don't put the effort in there. You know what I'm saying? And I can not let anything else affect me. And I just gotta play harder. It was on me, and I'm just gonna watch the film and see what it is, and just get better, and the rest of the season.
Albie, in the half court, are there ways to kind of speed things up at times when the offense can get a little bit stagnant? Are there ways to speed things up that you guys can do pretty quickly?
I think after we got the rebounds, we got some positions. We pushed the ball and got some easy, bad turnovers. It affects everybody, and it's February, it's like everybody, we had a lot of games, we have a lot of back-to-back, so everybody's a little bit beat up, but that's not an excuse. I think we just gotta be, do what we do like we did whole year. But we're gonna struggle some games, and that's gonna motivate us better. We're just gonna come back stronger. We had some couple games like that earlier too, and then we came back stronger. So that's what we gotta do. We just gotta look in the mirror and, motivate ourselves and come back stronger and play harder every game.
Yeah, a few weeks ago you had that game where you went 15 or 17, and you came in and talked about how you were feeling like yourself again. You were feeling healthy, and then I think that very next game you ended up tweaking it right in the fourth quarter. Has that been affecting your movement at all, or has that kind of affected the way you've been playing lately?
No, I can't just find excuse like that. I'm tweaking my ankle, whatever it is, playing hurt, anything. Even that January, it was all my bullshit, and it's nothing about my ankle. You know what I'm saying? I cannot think about that. I was just thinking about that, it's my ankle, but it is not. You know what I'm saying? I just gotta go over there and play harder. I don't have to score every night. I gotta just put the effort in there on defense end and in the boards, everything, and we lost Steven, so we lost 25, 30 minutes from him. We lost his, aggressiveness in the board, everything. So we just gotta do better. We just gotta, on the board, aggressiveness, everything, CC, me, whoever's coming in from the bench, we all gotta do better. And I would say that started with me. I think when I do play hard, and that affects everybody, and before everyone, I gotta look in the mirror and, come back every night and play like an all-star, you know what I'm saying? Play like a best player on the court, and that's how I gotta play.
Albie, Ime has talked about how this season, it feels like sometimes the team lets, bad offensive nights kind of dictate the rest of the game. Whereas last year, sometimes the games were bad offensive games, but the defense was always there. What do you think is the big difference between last year and this year, and being able to fight through some of those bad offensive games?
Difference is Fred. you know, last year we were struggling at some point. Fred was, you know, settled us down and talked to us, you know. I mean, Amen doing great job this season, you know, Reed doing great job, but, you know, Fred effect was big, and, you know, talking to us, and bring the ball, giving the ball to us wherever we want, you know, we definitely missing him, but, you know, we have a lot of young players, we all learning, I'm learning, you know, we have K now, you know, one of the best offensive player in the history, so I think if you look at the difference, I will say it's much more is Freddie, you know.
Thank you, Alfie.
Thank you.
Thank you.